And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Boshamer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College. Glad you're able to join us for this latest edition of Brevard College Volleyball. It's fall break here at Brevard College. Classes are not in session, but fall sports in full swing, and Tornadoes with a key USA South Conference matchup this evening as the Tornadoes, with an 8-10 overall record, 5-6 in the USA South Conference, welcomes the Salem Spirits, 14-8 and 6-6 in the USA South Conference. These two teams met earlier in the month, and in that one, a win for the Spirits. We'll recap that a bit for you momentarily. As back on September the 19th, was a 3-1 win for Salem. They went up 2-0. The Tornadoes were able to get the third set win, 27-25, but then Salem won in the fourth set, 25-15, to take the match. McKenna Parkins had a big one in that one, 18 kills, 3 aces. Ashley Hoxett, 12 kills as well. Logan Pretty and Caitlin Presley, no surprise there, getting it done with the distribution. 19 assists for Pretty in that one. Presley with 17 assists. Tornadoes have been playing very well as of late. Last home match, a non-conference affair, a 3-0 sweep over Warren Wilson. That featured a big day for Bailey Lance with the service game. 8 aces in total, including 5 in a row at one point. And then a win at Staunton, Virginia against Mary Baldwin, the host of a USA South Conference tri-match. 3-0 this past Saturday. Methodist then got the better of the Tornadoes 3-1. And it all brings us here for a key USA South Conference matchup as these teams continue to jockey for position in the standings of the USA South Conference. We'll take a look at those as well. Meredith currently on top with a 10-2 conference mark. William Peace at 9-2, Greensboro 8-3, Methodist 8-4. So crowded on the top, but then even equally crowded in the next few slots as just a game separates Southern Virginia at 6-5 in the conference, Salem at 6-6, and Brevard at 5-6. So a big one here as these teams continue to jockey for position in the USA South Conference standings. Well, glad you're able to join us. Stick with us. We're about 11 minutes from getting this one started at the Bosch. It's Spirits and Tornadoes. Counting down to the start of Salem versus Brevard. USA South Conference volleyball action from the Boshemer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College. Glad you're able to join us. As we mentioned at the Open, a key USA South Conference matchup between these two foes. Neck and neck in the current standings for the USA South Conference. Salem with a 6-6 league mark. Tornadoes 5-6. So stick with us. Getting closer. Getting things started here at the Bosch. And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Boshemer Gymnasium for this edition of Brevard College Tornadoes Volleyball. Tonight's matchup features the visitors from Salem College, the Spirits, versus your Brevard College Tornadoes. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Spirits, number 2, Ella Brummius. Number 4, Aspen Bradley. Number 7, Macy Nelson. Number 8, Anna Reimer. Number 10, Valeria Rosa Lopez. Number 13, Abrielle Eckenroth. Number 14, Ashlyn Wood. Salem is under the direction of head coach Barry Reimer, assisted by Kelly Coates and Corin Shore. Now let's meet the starting lineup for your Brevard College Tornadoes. Number 6, McKenna Parkins. Number 11, the libero Bailey Lance. Number 12, Ashley Hoxett.
Number 16, Logan Pretty. Number 18, Caitlin Presley. Number 20, Kendall Rockstad. Number 25, Jackson Tamicki. Tornadoes are under the direction of head coach Abby Pardee, assistant coach Brittany Franks. The head athletic trainer is Noah Rising. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, and good luck to both teams. Tornadoes and Spirits coming up next. The USA South Conference and NCAA encourages and promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, race or ethnic comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated on grounds for removal from the site of competition. Further, the possession or consumption of alcoholic beverages or tobacco products is prohibited. Thank you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Boshamer Gymnasium. Glad you're able to join us for this edition of Brevard College Volleyball USA South Conference matchup between the host, Brevard College, and the visiting Salem Spirits. Tornado starters are as follows: McKenna Parkins, Ashley Hoxett, Logan Pretty, Caitlin Presley, Kendall Rockstad, and Jackson Tamicki. The libero, who just checked in for Rockstad, is Bailey Lance. Meanwhile, Salem starters: Ella Brumius, Aspen Bradley, Macy Nelson, Anna Reimer, Valeria Rosa Lopez, Abrielle Eckenroth, Ashlyn Wood round out the starting lineup. Salem will start with the opening serve, and we are just about to get things going here at the Bosch. USA South Conference action. Glad you're able to join us. A big one in the conference standings. Opening serve from Salem and an opening kill from Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes.
So good start for the Tornadoes, able to receive that serve and then set up Hoxett for the kill. Meanwhile, Caitlin Haggerty will check in for the opening service for the Nados. Jump serve from Haggerty. And there's a kill for Salem. Ramias.
Point, Spirits.
And the Spirits knotted up at 1-1 here. Just getting started. Set number one. Ella Bremius will handle the service. She's the sophomore from Chicago. Big hit there from Presley. Dug up nicely by Wood. Now here's Lopez and the finish from Lopez.
Point, Spirits.
So Lopez able to give the Spirits their first lead of the contest. Light attendance from the students. No surprise there. It is fall break here at Brevard College. Big serve there. Haggerty able to get a piece of it. Now here's Parkins sending it over. Now an opportunity for Salem. Dug up nicely by Pretty. Lance keeps it alive. Haggerty's going to try to send it over, but to no avail.
Point, Spirits.
3-1, Spirits on top. Three consecutive points after the initial point from the Tornadoes. Here's Pretty setting up Parkins. Parkins, big time dig there by the libero Nelson of the Spirits. And that's going to be 4 straight points for Salem.
Point, Spirits.
So the service of Ella Brummius will continue. Lance, Pretty, setting up Presley. Presley using some finesse. Doesn't fool the Spirits. Nice job at the net there for the Tornadoes. Combination of Presley and Parkins. Now an opportunity. Here's Pretty setting up Parkins. And that's going to be a winner for the Tornadoes, McKenna Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Tornadoes able to stop that 4-0 scoring run by Salem. And service here coming from Bailey Lance. And what a match she saw last time around here at the Bosch. Career high 8 aces in a win over Warren Wilson. Those came in only 3 sets, a sweep over the Owls. Meanwhile, here's Salem.
Point, Spirits.
That kill there from Valeria Rosa Lopez headed out of bounds, but did go off a Tornado hand, and a 5-2 lead for the Spirits. Meanwhile, here's Anna Reimer with the service. Junior out of China Grove, North Carolina.
Point, Spirits.
Seeing some Spirits fans who have made the trip to Brevard College. Little chilly out there in the mountains of western North Carolina these last couple nights. But warm and cozy here inside the Bosch. Parkins sending it over. Big hit there. It's going to go long. Point for the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
So 6-3 your score. Caitlin Presley will handle the service. The senior from right here in Brevard. Big hit there from Lopez.
Point, Spirits.
Valeria Rosa Lopez out of Ponce, Puerto Rico. Blockers were there for the Parkins attack, and now here's Blair Nance with the finish.
Point, Tornadoes.
Nicely done there. Blair Nance, she's been a factor last few matches in particular. After coming back from a knee injury. Injury had sidelined her and now is back in action. (8-4) the score. Presley. Here's Hoxett. Finish from Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes.
Service here coming from Kendall Rockstad, the junior from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Jelena Bunn has entered the match, the setter at the moment for Salem. And here's Bunn. battle at the net, but the Tornadoes win that.
Point, Tornadoes.
Spirits 8, Tornadoes 6. And the Rockstadt service will continue.
Point, Spirits.
Nine 6, Spirits on top. Macy Nelson, Spirits libero, handling the service. Here's Parkins. Presley hawks it. Well done. Tornadoes offense there, well executed.
Point, Tornadoes.
And Logan Pretty will check in to handle the service. Big dig there from Bailey Lance to keep the point alive for the NATOs. Parkins is going to send it over. Yeah, nice block from Presley. Hoxa keeps alive. Presley sends it over. Compelling rally starting to develop here between the two teams. Shot there, side out from Reimer. Point for the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
So 9-8 the score. Tornadoes led 1-0, but have not led since that point. Parkins. Pretty. Tornadoes doing everything they can to try to keep that alive, but it's going to go Salem's direction.
Point, Spirits.
(10-8) Spirits on top. Ashlyn Wood, the sophomore from Kings Mountain, North Carolina, will handle the service. Kings Mountain High School product. Parkins. Pretty. Here's Hoxett. Dug up by Nelson.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Tornadoes able to win the point there on the net violation by the Spirits. 10-9 your score. Haggerty back into serve. Haggerty handled the service for the Tornadoes to start the match. Now her second time around. Here's Presley. What a finish by Presley.
Point, Tornadoes.
So all tied up at 10. We haven't seen this since the score was 1-1. And Tornadoes looking for their first lead in quite some time here with the Haggerty service. Eckenroth sends it over. Now Haggerty will do pretty much the same from the Tornado side. That's an opportunity for Salem. Big dig from Haggerty. Haggerty with another dig. Parkins. Once again, Haggerty active on that back line. One of the longer rallies we've seen so far in this opening set. The finish by the Spirits.
Point, Spirits.
Service opportunity here. Spirits able to fend off the Tornadoes, who tied it up at 10-10. Here's Pretty.
Point, Spirits.
Here's Presley. And that's going to be a kill for Caitlin Presley, ladies and gentlemen.
Point, Tornadoes.
Service here for Bailey Lance. Yeah, that's going to be a service error.
Point Spirits.
That'll set up an Anna Reimer service. And a big finish there, Lopez.
Point Spirits.
So just like that, 14-11. Lead back to 3 for Salem College. USA South Conference action here at the Bosch.
Point Tornadoes.
So repair to the net equipment at the moment. Meanwhile, good point there for the Tornadoes. Caitlin Presley will handle the honors. Well, fans, make sure you come out on Saturday. What a day of Brevard College Tornado athletics we have in store. And right here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, 2 p.m., it'll be senior day at the Bosch. Caitlin Presley, one of the seniors who will be honored, and she's handling the serve right here. The same day, this Saturday, men's and women's soccer senior days as well. So you can get 3 different Tornado matches, 3 different sports all in one afternoon.
Point Spirits.
Meanwhile, checking back in is Jelena Bunn, freshman out of Kernersville, North Carolina, East Forsyth High School. Haggerty with the dig. Here's Parkins. Dug up there by Bunn. Here's Valeria Rosa Lopez. Blair Nance. Finish for the Tornadoes.
Point Tornadoes.
Good to see some of the student athletes from some of the other sports who are here during the fall break. All the fall sports continuing their practice. Also men's and women's basketball practice underway. We had a women's soccer game on campus last night. Got reserves men's soccer in action as well.
Point Tornadoes.
And certainly the more students you can pack into the Bosch, the greater the home court advantage for these volleyball student athletes. 15-14. Salem on top, make it 16-14.
Point Spirits.
It'll be Valeria Rosa Lopez with the service. Puerto Rico native. Here's Blair Nance. Big time kill there. Meanwhile, from Aspen Bradley, sophomore from Oregon.
Point Spirits. Timeout on the court.
So timeout on the court with your score. Salem 17, Brevard 14, set number 1.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, glad you're able to join us for this USA South Conference matchup. Tornadoes with a timeout, down 17-14. Salem tough at the net there.
Point Spirits.
So now 18-14. These two teams met back on September the 19th. A 3-1 win by the Salem Spirits. Out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Point Tornadoes.
Tornadoes able to wrestle a point back. Big dig there by Kendall Rockstad on the back line. But Salem's able to finish it off.
Point Spirits.
There's your first ace of the match for either side.
Point Spirits.
Macy Nelson, the libero, senior out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina. Actually, check that. Bremias had an ace as well for the Spirits earlier in this first set. Spirits first one to make it to the 20-point threshold. Parkins setting up Hoxett. Lance with the dig. Here's Presley setting up Hoxett. Back the other way, here comes Salem. Bunn sets up her hitter, Reimer. Now another opportunity for Salem. Nance trying to shut the door there. Big rally between these two teams ends with a Reimer kill.
Point Spirits.
So the service will continue for Nelson. Big hit there from Hoxett, dug up nicely by Bunn. Great dig on the other side by Presley. Hoxett sends it over. Here's Reimer. Parkins keeping it alive. And then Reimer with the finish.
Point Spirits.
So some compelling points here, but it seems like most of the longer rallies go the way of the Spirits. See if the Tornadoes can change that trend. Now a 7-point lead for Salem. Its largest of the match. Parkins. Presley. Here's Hoxett. Finish from Ashley Hoxett.
Point Tornadoes.
Just what the doctor ordered. Ashley Hoxett, the junior from nearby Balsam Grove, North Carolina. Big time attack there, the finish. Logan Pretty with the service. Parkins with a big dig. Presley sends it over with some power. Salem coming back the other way. Pretty keeping it alive. It ricochets off the ceiling at the Bosch. It's going to be a point for the Spirits.
Point Spirits.
23-16. The Spirits inching closer to a set one victory. Have really pulled away late here in the opening set. Meanwhile, it's going to be Ashlyn Wood, sophomore setter, with the service. And looks like we have an injured player on the court. We'll take a quick stoppage. And Logan Pretty bounces right back up. So, good to see. I Make sure we clarify as far as the score goes. Seemed like the point was halted mid-point. 23-16, your score at the moment. So the score remains 23-16. We're going to replay it here, as certainly player safety paramount. So right back out of here, 23-16. Pretty sets up Hoxett. The finish from Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes.
Pretty gets shaken up on the play before and then responds with a beautiful assist to Hoxett. You can see her trying to fire up her teammates. Now here's Haggerty with the service. Jump serve from Haggerty. 23-17. Make it 23-18.
Point, Tornadoes.
Five-point deficit. Little room for error here with Salem sitting at 23 points.
Point, Tornadoes.
3 consecutive points for the Tornadoes, who are hungry to mount a comeback here late in the first set. Big time block for the Nados. That was Tamicki. Now nice dig from Lance. Presley with a hit. That's going to go Salem's direction.
Point, Spirits. Set point, Spirits.
So it's a set point situation. 24-19, Spirits on top. Big time block to Mickey and Presley. Tornadoes not done yet.
Point, Tornadoes.
24-20. Remains set point for the visitors from Winston-Salem. Bailey Lance with the service. Pretty keeps it alive. Lance now setting up Presley. Off the hand of a Salem blocker, and then the finish by the Nados, Kendall Rockstad.
Point, Tornadoes.
24-21. Tornadoes still alive, but zero room for error with Salem continuing to sit on set point. Lance with a rocket of a serve.
Point, Tornadoes. Timeout on the court.
So what a comeback by the Tornadoes, down by 7, and have cut this to 24-22. They need a couple more points to force the extra time here in the first set. But really resilient effort by the Tornadoes. Brevard trailed 22-15, and since then has won 7 of the last 9 points. Oh my. The Brevard College Tornadoes trying to mount an improbable comeback here in the opening set. These two teams look to be pretty evenly matched, although Salem won a 3-1 match in Winston-Salem back on September 19th. Just a half game separate these two in the USA South Conference standings, a key conference matchup. Meanwhile, another set point for Salem. They've had 4 set points. Brevard has foiled those opportunities 4 consecutive times. Sitting at 24-22, here's Bailey Lance.
Point, Spirits. Spirits win set number 1, 25-22.
So Salem's able to take care of business. Nice job coming out of the timeout as Salem coaching staff gets their team organized and able to come up with the winning point there to take the 25-22 lead. We'll head to the second set. Salem on top, 1-0. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, Spirits with a 1-0 lead in sets after winning set number 1, 25-22. Nice comeback there at the end for the Tornadoes, but just the gap too large. Ashley Hoxett leading the way with 7 kills for the Nados in that opening set. 7 kills also for Salem's Valeria Rosa Lopez. Logan Priddy with 6 assists. Caitlin Presley had 5 assists and 2 kills. Abrielle Eckenroth with 8 assists for Salem. 2 aces for Salem. 1 ace for the Tornadoes. That came from Bailey Lance. Lance leading the way, leading all players, in fact, with 11 digs, the libero for the Tornadoes. Each team with 2 team blocks. And getting ready to roll here in set number 2. McKenna Parkins will start things off. Great to see members of the Brevard College men's soccer team in the building. I've gotten some information that the men's soccer players enjoy the sport of volleyball very much.
Point Tornadoes.
Big Brazilian contingent on the Brevard College men's soccer team. Volleyball, big sport in South America, and great to see the Tornadoes student body participating in this wonderful sport of volleyball. Beyond what we see here from the women's volleyball team here at Brevard, there's a beach volleyball court on campus, and there's a winner for the Tornadoes.
Point Tornadoes.
So a nice 2-0 start for McKenna Parkins and the Tornadoes coming out of that first set. Crowd starting to fill in here at the Bosch.
Tornadoes ace.
So a ace for McKenna Parkins, the second of the match for the Nados. Lance had one earlier. 3-0 Nados. All off the serve of Parkins so far. Nifty attack there
Point Spirits.
Anna Reimer, the deception. Everyone in the building thought she was going to set that to her attacker, and she finesses it over for a kill. Nance with an attack for the Tornadoes. Tornadoes there defensively on the net.
Point Tornadoes.
And 4-1 NATO's on top. Kendall Rockstad checking in. She'll handle the service. And there's an ace from Rockstad.
Tornadoes ace.
So the service game, such a big part of the Tornado success this season, starting to catch fire here in the second set. 5-1, NATO's on top. Nice answer there from the Spirits, meanwhile.
Point Spirits.
Service here will be Anna Reimer. Reimer with 4 service attempts in that opening set. Big hit there from Hoxett. She was the leading attacker for the Tornadoes in the opening set. Meanwhile, Valeria Rosa Lopez with her 8th kill.
Point Spirits.
5-3. NATO's on top. Set number 2. Parkins. Presley. Tamicki. Count it.
Point Tornadoes.
Great finish there from Jackson Tamicki. Sophomore from Brandon, Florida, in the Tampa, St. Petersburg area of the Sunshine State.
Point Spirits.
Spirits with an answer of their own. 6-4 your score, as Jelena Bunn has checked back in. She replaces Wood, and Bunn will handle the service. There's a stoppage. It looked like an extra volleyball might have rolled onto the court momentarily there, so got it back under control. Meanwhile, here's Bunn. Parkins. Bailey Lance. Big hit there from Hoxett, but the blockers are in place. Rainey taking care of business.
Point Spirits.
6-5. NATO's hanging on to this second set lead. Hoxett, big hit. Count it.
Point Tornadoes.
Hoxett now with 9 kills. Actually make it 10. Hoxett, the first player to double-digit kills in this one. Doing it quickly, early here in the second set.
Point Spirits.
Service here from Valeria Rosa Lopez.
Point Tornadoes.
So there was a little bit of hesitation there from the officials what happened on that last play, but ends up being a net violation against Salem. Brevard with an 8-6 lead. Service here from Bailey Lance. Pretty setting up Parkins. Dug up by Bunn. There's Nelson distributing for Salem.
Point Spirits.
8-7. NATO's on top. Service here from Nelson. Service error. Give the Tornadoes another point.
Point Tornadoes.
That'll set up a service opportunity here for Caitlin Presley. What an incredible career she's had. We'll celebrate it as well as the other seniors on Saturday on Senior Day.
Point, Tornadoes.
Nice discipline by the Tornadoes there on the back line, letting it fall out of bounds. Big dig there from Lance. Here's Parkins.
Point, Spirits.
So the point goes to Salem. It's a little bit of hesitation there. Exactly whose point that was. 10-8 your score. Presley. Blair Nance. Parkins sends it over.
Point, Spirits.
Great to see members of the Brevard College football team in attendance. 4-0 start in the USA South Conference. Bye week this Saturday. Big hit there from Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
Tornadoes 11, Spirits 9. Big serve there for Haggerty.
Point, Tornadoes.
Another service from Haggerty.
Point, Tornadoes.
A hot hand of Caitlin Haggerty has given the Tornadoes now a 4-point advantage, up 13-9.
Tornadoes ace.
And the ace from Haggerty.
Timeout on the court.
And a timeout with a 14-9 advantage. Nice little scoring run here for the NATOs. Haggerty now with 2 aces to her credit. Well, we mentioned Senior Day on Saturday. Before that, a road trip to Greenville, South Carolina on Thursday night. In case you're in the area or want to make the trip down, the Tornadoes will take on Bob Jones in non-conference play on Thursday. Then Saturday, Senior Day versus Meredith. A trip to Pfeiffer in USA South Conference play on Wednesday the 25th, and then a USA South Conference tri-match in Buena Vista, Virginia on the 28th. Another matchup on the road in USA South Conference play versus Greensboro on the 31st. Then the season finale at home on Friday, November the 3rd. That's the Morgan's Message game. So still a lot of action to transpire here in USA South Conference play. But as we have mentioned, this is big in terms of the conference standings. These two teams a half game apart entering tonight. What a dig by Bailey Lance, getting down low. Hoxett sending it over. Here's Blair Nance. Rockstad being set up by Presley. Defended well by Salem. Salem able to finish it off.
Point, Spirits.
NATO's 14, Spirits 10. Big hit there. Count it.
Point, Spirits.
One of the bigger hits we've seen so far. Presley keeping it alive. Now Lance setting up Hoxett. Count it for Ashley Hoxett in the NATOs.
Point, Tornadoes.
Rockstad checks out, and first look at Kaylin Murphy, part of that senior class. Murphy will be honored on Saturday as well. The senior from Indian Trail, North Carolina, a fantastic server as well. Murphy setting up Hoxett now. Salem coming back the other way. Dug up there by Haggerty. Hoxett. Hoxett then keeps it alive after the Salem block. Murphy trying to keep it alive. She does. Presley then sends it over. And then a finish by the Spirits. That's Eckenroth.
Point, Spirits.
So service here for Anna Reimer. Reimer, a spin of the volleyball, and then she fires away. Haggerty digs it up. Here's Blair Nance. Great dig there, meanwhile, by Ashlyn Wood of Salem. Lance sets up Nance.
Point, Spirits.
So Spirits able to cut the deficit to 2, now 15-13. And that's a Spirits ace right there.
Point, Spirits.
As Reimer with an ace. She's been a very effective player for the Spirits so far. 5 kills, now 2 aces.
Point, Tornadoes.
Big answer there by the NATOs, just what the doctor ordered. (16-14) NATOs on top.
Point, Spirits.
Spirits now trailing 16-15 as Bunn checks in. Big hit there from Hoxett, but sails wide.
Point, Spirits.
All tied up at 16 after the Tornadoes were able to put together a couple of nice scoring runs earlier in this set.
Point, Tornadoes.
Tornadoes able to stop that run of Salem after 3 consecutive Salem points. Tornadoes wrestle it back, and Hoxett will handle the service. Jump serve from Hoxett.
Point, Spirits.
Valeria Rosa Lopez will do the duties. Great to see Mitchell Yoder in the house, handling the videography for the Tornadoes. All sorts of wonderful work of Mitchell's you can check out on the social media channels of the Nados. Point Spirits. And the Spirits have worked all their way back to take an 18-17 lead. Tornadoes led at one point 15-11. Now 7 of the last 9 points for the Spirits. Point Spirits. Timeout on the court. So a timeout on the court with Salem now ahead 19-17. We'll take it with them.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at the Boschberg Gymnasium, timeout from head coach Abby Pardee, trying to slow down Salem, who has worked their way back, currently on an 8-2 scoring run. Pretty setting up Presley. Point Tornadoes. Correction, point Spirits. Referee signaled the wrong way there. So it is a Spirits point. Currently 20. We'll try to get confirmation on the score here. A little bit of confusion. 21-17 should be the score. So we'll get this sorted out with the scoreboard operator. It was the confusion from the referee at the net who signaled the wrong way on that last point, but we have it sorted out. 21-17, Salem on top. Point Tornadoes. Now 21-18. Bailey Lance with the service. Point Spirits. 22-18. Spirits already up 1-0 in sets. Critical juncture in this second set for the Tornado standpoint. Point Spirits. And meanwhile, Spirits starting to pull away here. Similar to what we saw in the first set. Two teams were tight, and then late the Spirits came up big late in that first set. Doing it again here in the second. Point Tornadoes. Well, just what the doctor ordered there. Presley will be rewarded with a service. 23-19 your score. Very little room for error. Serve from Presley.
Point, Tornadoes.
So the Presley service will continue. 23-20. And just like the first set, Tornadoes mounting a comeback here, but gap was too big in the first set. Can they do it here in the second? Parkins. Presley hawks it from deep. Lance keeps it alive. Parkins has no choice but to send it over. That's going to set up an opportunity for Salem. Blockers were there. Nice job, Kendall Rockstad. On the defensive end, hawks it, sending it over. Dug up there by the libero Nelson. Finished by Salem.
Point, Spirits. Set point, Spirits.
So now a set point situation, up 24-20, just like the first set. A bit of a cushion here for Salem. Zero room for error suddenly for the Tornadoes, who are going to have to fend off several set point opportunities if they want to get back here in this second set. Parkins, big time finish there.
Point, Tornadoes.
So it remains set point. 24-21.
Point, Spirits. Spirits take set number 2, 25-21. Head to set number 3, Salem 2, Brevard 0.
So ahead of the third set, with Salem able to win back-to-back opening sets here, 25-22 and then 25-21. Both sets kind of unfolded in similar fashion. See if the Tornadoes can keep their hopes alive in the third set. Must-win situation heading to set number 3. At the end of 2, Salem ahead 2-0.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, Salem with a 2-0 lead. 25-22 in set number 1, 25-21 in set number 2. Salem has been led by Valeria Rosa Lopez with 12 kills. Ashlyn Wood has 15 assists. Ella Bramius with 21 digs. Meanwhile, the Tornadoes, led by Ashley Hoxett with 11 kills. McKenna Parkins has 5 kills to go along with a service ace and 6 digs. Bailey Lance, 20 digs. Does have a service ace herself, along with 2 assists. Caitlin Haggerty has a pair of service aces. Also service aces from Kendall Rockstead. And we mentioned the Parkins ace. Caitlin Presley, the leading distributor for the Tornadoes this evening thus far, 11 assists. Logan Pretty with 9. So must-win situation here in set number 3 if the Tornadoes want to keep their hopes alive. Down 2-0 in sets. As Brevard set to go on the receiving end of the opening serve of this third set. Salem will do the honors. Ashlyn Wood with the service. Slamming the door shut there was Reimer. Point Spirits. The Spirits with an early advantage here, set number 3. Dug up there by Lopez. Then dug up nicely by Wood. Here's Blair Nance. Presley digs it up. Nance once again. Count it. Point Tornadoes. So Kendall Rockstad will do the honors. She has an ace this evening already. Point Spirits. Set number 3. Spirits atop 2-0. Here's Blair Nance at the last kill for the Nados. Haggerty. Presley going the opposite direction to Hoxett. That's how it's executed right there, folks. Point Tornadoes. Logan Pretty checks in. She'll handle the service. Blair Nance, nice work. Heads to the bench area. Lots of congratulations and smiles from the Tornadoes. Meanwhile, rocket serve from Pretty. Point Spirits. Reimer with the finish there, and she'll get the service opportunity now. Tornadoes under the direction of head coach Abby Pardee, assisted by Brittany Franks. And that's an ace for Reimer. Point Spirits. (4-2) your score. And the service from Reimer. Hoxett. Pretty. Back to Hoxett. Point Spirits. Spirits now had 5-2, set number 3. Spirits won this matchup 3-1 back on September the 19th in Winston-Salem, looking to sweep the season series. Tornadoes trying to stay alive here. Need a win in set number 3, and that's going to help matters. Big finish there from Hoxett. Point Tornadoes. And Hoxett will head to the service position. Big day for Hoxett. 13 kills. Finish there for Salem, meanwhile. Point Spirits. And checking in, Jelena Bunn will handle the service. Spirits under the direction of head coach Barry Reimer. Kelly Coates and Corin Shorer make up the remainder of the Spirits coaching staff. Pretty, setting up Parkins. Count it. McKenna Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
McKenna Parkins, exciting dual sport athlete. Also a member of the women's basketball team, the senior from Marion, North Carolina, McDowell High School. What a career she's had. She'll be honored as well on Saturday.
Point, Tornadoes.
6-5. Tornadoes working their way back here early in the third set.
Tornadoes ace.
So Bailey Lance with the ace. Her second of the day. She had that huge game against Warren Wilson last time we were here at the Bosch.
Point, Spirits.
Lance had career high 8 aces in that contest. There was a stretch where she hit 5 straight. Place was going absolutely bananas. As meanwhile, an answer with an ace of their own is the Spirits.
Point, Spirits.
It's Valeria Rosa Lopez. Her first ace of the evening.
Point, Spirits.
There's a big hit there from Presley. Looked solid, but just missing wide.
Point, Spirits.
So Spirits, just as the Tornadoes starting to make it interesting here in the third set, have pulled away a bit, 10-6. See if the Tornadoes can work their way back, and that will help those ideas as Presley's able to finish it.
Point, Tornadoes.
10-7. Spirits on top, set number 3. Jump serve from Presley. It's going to sail long.
Point, Spirits.
Three service errors for the Tornadoes have not helped the cause this evening. Meanwhile, here's Parkins. Big finish there.
Point, Tornadoes.
Kill number 7 for McKenna Parkins.
Point, Spirits. Point, Tornadoes.
So 12-9 your score as Kaylin Murphy checks back in, another member of that senior class. Fantastic student athlete. Big serve there from Murphy. Presley keeps it alive. Then Murphy keeps it alive. Here's Blair Nance. The finish from Nance.
Point, Tornadoes.
Great work there by the Tornadoes. So the Kaylin Murphy service opportunity will continue. Big answer there from Salem. Point Spirits. 13-10 Spirits on top. Set number 3. Libero Bailey Lance checks back in. Murphy heads to the bench area. Presley setting up Hoxett. Big hit there. We've seen that all night long from Valeria Rosa Lopez.
Point Spirits.
Rosa Lopez now with 13 kills. And an ace there from Salem.
Point Spirits. Timeout on the court.
So a timeout on the court with a 15-10 lead for the Spirits, set 3. Back here at the Boschberg Gymnasium. Well, do want to congratulate the Brevard College cycling program. An incredible weekend wrapped up on Sunday at Ride Rock Creek in nearby Zirconia, North Carolina. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. Meanwhile, Salem getting things going here, coming off the BC timeout. Lance. Presley, Hoxett.
Point Tornadoes.
Well, Ashley Hoxett with the finish there. Well, the cycling team won 5 individual national championships. Finished second in the nation. And just a proud showing for Brevard College at Ride Rock Creek this past weekend. Check out the event recap, currently the lead story on bctornadoes.com.
Point Tornadoes.
Well, Logan Pretty's service will continue. Big point there for BC.
Tornadoes ace.
And an ace there for Logan Pretty. Just like that, the Tornadoes cut the deficit to 2. Back-to-back aces for Pretty.
Tornadoes ace. Timeout on the court.
So another timeout. Well, we mentioned the cycling team. Big congratulations. Second in the nation in mountain biking. Nicole Bradbury making her collegiate nationals debut, wins the national championship in dual slalom, also named the national champion in individual omnium. That means she was the best overall rider the entire competition. Cole Punchard won 2 national championships in both the events cross country and short track. And Cameron Mader wins the downhill in absolute dramatic fashion. Tornadoes finished second in the nation behind national champion Colorado Mesa. Finished ahead of Fort Lewis College. Once again, the highest finishing collegiate program east of the Mississippi River. And just a sensational weekend for the Brevard College Tornadoes mountain bike program. Big congratulations to the entire team, head coach Brad Purley, assistant coach Tyler Miranda.
Point, Spirits.
Well, the Spirits come out of the timeout with an effective point and able to wrestle back the service, and it's going to be Reimer. She's had a big match tonight. Pretty. And issue there at the net. It'll be a point for the Spirits.
Point, Spirits.
(17-14), Spirits on top. Pretty sets up Hoxett.
Point, Spirits.
And once again, at that critical juncture, seems like it's around this portion of each of these sets that the Spirits are able to really lock things down, but service error there is not going to help their cause.
Point, Tornadoes.
And Ashley Hoxett will handle the service for BC. Lance with a nice dig. Here's Parkins. Dug up nicely the other way by Wood. Hoxett, we're seeing some sensational digs here on both sides. Here's Presley. Somehow, some way, the Spirits keep it alive. Here's Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
One of the better rallies of the match. That time goes in favor of the Tornadoes. We saw in the first couple sets Salem really winning a lot of those points similar to that one.
Point, Tornadoes.
And Tornadoes able to work their way back here. Now trailing by just 1 point. Must-win situation here in set number 3 if the Tornadoes want to continue this match.
Tornadoes ace.
So big ace there from Hoxett. Lance digs it up. Pretty sets up Parkins.
Point, Tornadoes.
And the Tornadoes have stormed all the way back to take a 19-18 lead here. Great resiliency. Things looked bleak not too long ago as Salem held an 18-14 lead. 5 straight points for the Tornadoes, oh my.
Point, Spirits.
But the Spirits able to stop the 5-0 run right there in its tracks. We're all tied up at 19. Jelena Bunn, freshman from Kernersville, will do the honors. She serves with the left hand, and that's an ace from Bunn.
Point, Spirits.
So after a 5-0 run for the Tornadoes, 2 straight points for the Spirits. They hit the 20-point mark first in this third set. Now 5 points away from a match victory. Tornadoes certainly want it to go the other direction. Stretch this out to a 4th set. Parkins, that's going to sail long.
Point, Spirits.
Now 21-19. Spirits inching that much closer. And timeout. Coach Abby Pardee wants to talk it over with her side. 21-19 your score. Set number 3. Back to action here at the Bosch, and Spirits with another point there, inching that much closer. Point Spirits. The service of Jelena Bunn has been an effective one here in set number 3. Lance, Pretty, to Mickey. The block was there. Aspen Bradley, folks. That's a big-time block. Point Spirits. And now 2 points away from a match victory. Salem. Bunn's service continues. Aspen Bradley, sophomore from Redmond, Oregon. May have been the play of the match right there, that block for the winner. Presley with a hit.
Point Tornadoes.
So Tornadoes have made these comebacks here late in each of these sets, but certainly it's that much tougher when you have to come back when the opposing team is either sitting on 23 or 24 points. Lance digs it up. Pretty. Hawks it.
Point Spirits. Set point, match point, Spirits.
So it's both set point and match point for the Spirits, up 24-20. And the Spirits take the match.
And the Spirits take the third set, 25-20.
And win the match
3 sets to nil, 25-22, 25-21, and 25-20. We'll hope to see you on Saturday for Senior Day here at the Boschmer Gymnasium when we celebrate the seniors for Brevard College. That'll be a 2 p.m. start versus Meredith on Saturday. It's Senior Day here at the Bosch, also Senior Day for men's and women's soccer Saturday as well. Have a very pleasant rest of your Tuesday evening. Your final score for the final time, Salem 3, Brevard 0. Go Tornadoes!
So Salem's able to take the 3-0 win, sweep the season series. They won 3-1 in Winston-Salem and 3-0 this evening. Tornadoes were close at times at each of the 3 sets, but ultimately Salem, when it mattered most, able to get the win. So great performance for Salem. They looked legitimate for sure. And we'll continue to watch those USA South Conference standings. Salem with the upper hand this evening at the Bosch. Well, Tornadoes will be back in action on Thursday on the road in Greenville, South Carolina, a trip to Bob Jones. That's a 4 p.m. start in case you're in the upstate or want to make the trip down to South Carolina. That's Thursday, October 19th at 4 p.m. And then Senior Day right here at the Bosch on Saturday at 2 p.m. versus Meredith. Well, Salem won this one in 3 sets, 25-22, 25-21, and 25-20. Salem was led by Valeria Rosa Lopez. She was outstanding with 14 kills. Also Anna Reimer with 13 kills. Jelena Bunn had 14 assists. Ashlyn Wood had 23 assists. 7 service aces for Salem. And also 4 blocks as a team. Big block late in this one by Aspen Bradley. She, in fact, had all 4 of the blocks for Salem. So big day defensively for Bradley. Meanwhile, the Tornadoes led by Ashley Hoxett. She had 15 kills, was just sensational, especially in that first set. McKenna Parkins had 8 kills. Caitlin Presley had 6 kills. Kendall Rockstad with 2. Blair Nance with 3. And Jackson Tamicki with 2. In the distribution department, Caitlin Presley with 16 assists. Logan Pretty with 15. And Bailey Lance with 4. Tornadoes had 9 service aces, especially later in this match, got things going. 2 aces apiece from Haggerty, Lance, and Pretty. Also aces from Parkins, Hoxett, and Rockstad. Leading the way defensively was Bailey Lance with 24 digs. Also, big night in the dig department from Hoxett, who had 9 digs. Tornadoes 2 blocks as a team, and we'll regroup and head to Bob Jones on Thursday. Well, all sorts of Brevard College athletics action the remainder of this week, including Senior Day for volleyball on Saturday. Hope to see you either here in person or on this YouTube channel. We'll also have women's and men's soccer Senior Days happening on Saturday afternoon as well. So if you want to come out on Saturday, a lot of action here on the campus of Brevard College. We're getting closer to the start of basketball season as well, and fall sports continue down there. Critical stretch of conference play heading towards the postseason next few weeks for the fall sports as well. Big congrats to the Brevard College cycling program, the mountain bike team, second in the nation, 5 individual national championships, and appreciate all of you for continuing to tune in and follow Brevard College Tornado Athletics. Well, special thanks for those involved with tonight's operation. Justin Espino handling production. Roya Tomasabi and Sports Information Director Joseph Marvin crunching all the numbers on the statistics side of things. Members of the Brevard College softball team and their coaching staff handling a bunch of the operations as well behind the scenes. Appreciate all that they do. Well, we appreciate you as well, NATO Nation, for continuing to follow the Tornadoes. We'll be bringing you the action all season long. Check out bctornadoes.com for all the latest news, stats, scores, schedules, and information. Your final score for the final time here at Brevard College: Salem 3, Brevard 0. Have a very pleasant rest of your Tuesday evening. We'll see you down the road. Go Tornadoes!